Mr. Edward P. Joseph is a professor at the Johns Hopkins University School of Advanced International Studies and foreign policy analyst, is now joining us live from Washington, D.C. Mr. Joseph, it's good to see you and Happy New Year to you. I just want to know from you, this is a concern that very many people are raising at the moment. Was it justified for the United States to pluck an already sitting president of a sovereign nation?
Eric, first, good to be with you. Happy New Year to you and to your viewers. And Eric, it's a completely valid question. We actually have a partial answer to that question from Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who already stated on social media that he issued the reminder that Nicolas Maduro is not the legitimate leader. He is not the president of Venezuela, according to the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. So from the perspective of the U.S. government, this is not taking the leader of a sovereign nation. It's taking, from their perspective, again, let me underscore that, this is the perspective of the U.S. government, is it's taking an indicted criminal and bringing him to justice in the United States. That's the way I believe the U.S. administration is framing this, and probably we'll hear something similar to this from President Trump at that news conference that Susan Tehrani mentioned that is scheduled for later this morning. And note this, that in his very brief statement, President Trump noted that U.S. law enforcement personnel were present. And so that underscores the effort here to frame this as a operation of effecting justice in some form. That would be my answer to your question, Eric, please.
Mr. Joseph, let's go back to the long history of U.S. intervention in Latin America. It started all the way in 1954, even during the Cold War season. It started with Guatemala, it went to Cuba, it went to Brazil, it went to Dominican Republic, it went to Ecuador, it went to Bolivia, it went to Uruguay, it went to Chile, it went to Argentina, it went to El Salvador, it went to Nicaragua, it went to Grenada, and finally, where people are talking about, Panama. U.S. intervention in Latin America. Who's the voice of Latin America, in your own view? Who defends that region?
Eric, you're correct to cite those, that long list of U.S. intervention in Latin America. And you know, the doctrine underscoring that, it goes back almost 200 years, and that's the Monroe Doctrine. So the over 200 years. So, and the Trump administration has cited that. And in fact, that concept sits behind some of the thinking in the administration about this, of reasserting a Monroe Doctrine, that is a U.S. right to intervene and to ensure security in its own hemisphere. And that concept has some standing in the thinking of administration officials. Now, in terms of who speaks for Latin America, of course, there's the Organization of American States. The OAS actually has its headquarters here in Washington, D.C. And that is the organization that is meant to be the voice of Latin America. And the United States is, of course, a member of the OAS. So it remains to be seen how the OAS itself will react. Now, immediately we see actually some cautious reaction on the part of leaders in Latin America. The condemnation that I've seen so far has only come from Cuba in terms of Venezuela's neighbors. I have not seen reports yet of condemnation. There was approval from President Milei in Argentina, strong approval. President Petro of Colombia stated that they have moved troops, Colombian troops, to the border with Venezuela, fearing a refugee influx, but I'm not aware that President Petro has condemned the action. So we have to see what these voices that you rightly point to, what these voices in Latin America actually have to say. Please.
Mr. Joseph, I know we have to end this discussion here, but I just want your quick thoughts. What do you predict the Congress will react or say following the U.S. airstrikes on Venezuela? Very quickly.
Yes, quickly, I think Democrats are going to be critical of this, and I think some Republicans, obviously most Republicans will fall in line and voice support, like Speaker Mike Johnson in the House of Representatives, but there will be some expression of concern by dissident Republicans, by even some of these hardcore MAGA Republicans who do not want U.S. military intervention, and the fact that the president didn't consult Congress on this and has already been asked about this, I think will come up. Please.
Mr. Joseph, it's good to see you. Thank you very much for talking to us today.
Likewise. You're welcome.